Hello and welcome to day 18. Today is neon, so I am a couple of days behind in doing this again because I've been sleeping an insane amount. I've probably been sleeping close to 15 hours a day. I've been getting about 12 hours of sleep overnight and then also taking a nap. And I was trying to not sleep more than like maybe 8 or 10 hours at night. And I was forcing myself to get up. And that absolutely wasn't working for me. It was just making everything worse. So I decided that I was just going to start sleeping until I feel ready to get up. And I've been doing that for a couple of days. I still need a nap, but at least during the hours that I'm awake, I feel better than I did otherwise. So it is actually afternoon. This is the first one that I am doing during the day. And obviously I've moved stuff. I just turned my vanity around, and I think that a big part of the issue that I've been having with color is because of the color of the walls in this room, because the walls are like a tan color, so I just put a white sheet behind me. Also, I just showered, and I've said before, I don't do anything to my hair while it's wet. Well, I guess I didn't just shower. I showered I showered like an hour ago, and then I did my foundation and eyebrows, and then I got sucked into a video by Beauty News about skincare and watched it for like 45 minutes, and then realized that it's like an hour and 45 minutes long, so I stopped. So I got this cute little kit that's called Cosmic Kitten. These are actually, it's got little ears at the top that I can fold up, but it's a couple of masks that I'll probably do on here because they're peel-off masks, and I always have fun watching people do them, so I'll probably do it on here. But it came with like a kitten headband that was really loud, so so I'm just gonna put this on to hold my hair back while I do this. So I did do my foundation. It's just my recent go-to, the Too Faced Peach Perfect in Swan with the Dew You and Snow, and then the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Pressed Powder over top. For primer, I used the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Primer, and I used to love that primer. And for some reason, it is not agreeing with my skin lately. So this is like the third time that I've used it, and it just, I don't know, it makes the foundation sit weird on my skin. So I will probably try not to use that for a while going forward. Okay, so for my brows, I used I talked about this in my last video, but it's the MAC Shape and Shade Brow Tint in the shade Tapered. So it's definitely a very light and warm brown. So I'm still deciding whether or not I like it. I like the application for sure. It has one side as a pin, so you can do really fine detail work, and then the other side is a powder. I did use a little bit of the Benefit Give Me Brow over top. And then for my eyes, I am actually really excited. I'm going to be using the BH Cosmetics Aurora Lights. So BH Cosmetics is very affordable. This is my first time opening it. Oh, and there went the plastic thing. So these plastic things are what I'm always talking about that I use for my palettes for my foundation. So this, I can get it to focus. Oh, it's still trying to focus on me. There we go. So this is the Aurora Lights. And this shade right here is the one that I want to use out of here. And then I am going to also be using the Sigma Loose Shimmers and This is Open Sesame. I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but this is like an orange and pink neon shift. And then underneath my eye, I'm going to use the bright yellow that is in the ABH Prism palette. So this one right here. This yellow, like this whole palette speaks to me, but this yellow is part of why I got this palette when it came out last year. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump in. I don't have anything really specific planned to talk about, so I'm going to talk probably mostly about makeup, and if I find that there are lots of just silent bits, then I will either edit them out or I will play music over them. Okay, so I am going to start out, actually I didn't come up with a plan for the crease at all because I was just going to go straight in. So for my crease, I'm going to go ahead and use Eden, which is this shade here from the Prism palette. I'm just going to go in with a shader brush, or with a blending brush. I did not put down any actual eye primer, which might turn out to be a huge mistake, but I did put foundation on my eyes when I was putting on my foundation, and I did not powder it because I want to pick up as much of the pigment in these bright colors as possible. So we're just gonna see how this works out. And again, this is just, I'm just laying this down as my transition shade, so it doesn't need to have a whole lot. I'm gonna start out with the Sigma with the Open Sesame in the outer corner. This is the E47 from Sigma. This will just give me the most precision in packing this into that corner. I should probably, since I'm using shimmers, have something down to help with fallout, but we're gonna live on the wild side. So these shimmers from Sigma are amazing. I ordered a stack of them. They had like a clearance, and then I also had a coupon for a percentage off. Sigma has huge sales all the time, and if you sign up for their for email from their website, they send percentage off stuff frequently. I know a lot of influencers also have like codes and stuff that you can use for percentage off. So if there's a particular influencer that you like, just look in their description box and see if maybe they have a code, because the codes, they get commission of some sort. And I'm going up well above my crease because I want this to be a very punchy look since we're going for neon colors. But yeah, so these loose shimmers, also the loose glitter that I used in, I think maybe my very first video that I did, the loose glitters also came in part of one of the stacks, and it's fantastic. It's definitely worth the money. So now I'm gonna go into, this color is called Fluorescent, seems appropriate, in the BH Cosmetics. I have not used any of their baked eyeshadow palettes. I swatched this in Ulta and it was gorgeous. And then I had a coupon for $5 off of 10, so I actually got this for $13, which is pretty freaking amazing when you consider it has 18 shades in it. So less than $1 per shadow. And the regular price is only $18 anyway, so you're only paying $1 per shadow. And this is some amazing color payoff. So typically I have been really opposed to baked products. I used some when I first started wearing makeup a lot, and I just didn't like them. I didn't feel like they gave great color payoff. Clearly you can get good color payoff using a baked shadow or baked products in general. I think that I talked about that some when I got the Laura Geller blush that I'm also going to use today because it's also really good. And then I'm going to go in, there is this prismatic color here. Let's see if I can get it a little closer. It doesn't. This is prismatic color that's kind of a neon purple. And I'm just going to use the other side of the same brush and put that, oh yeah, that's nice, in that inner part, just to brighten the eye up a lot. These eyeshadows are so pretty. I was really on the fence about whether or not I was going to get this because I've been trying not to spend money on makeup, especially for myself. I have other makeup products that I will be reviewing, and I've already like set them aside and haven't been using them because I want to be able to give my first impression, and then I'll come back after I've used them for a while and give an actual review. But this is awesome, and it again, literally, I knew that this neon challenge was coming up, and when I saw that fluorescent color, I knew that it was exactly what I needed. So that is what I'm gonna do for up there. I do feel like I need more in terms of transition, so I'm gonna go back to that blending brush. I'm almost tempted to use Sphere, which is my really bright yellow up there. I think that's gonna be too much. I'm just gonna go back into Eden, which is that first peachy color that I used, and just blend this out some. These shadows are very, very different formulas, so it's nice that they are blending together so well. Like, all of them are very different formulas. So this ABH formula, for one, it's matte, which is gonna make it a different formula than everything anyway. And then the ones from BH Cosmetics are the baked formula, and they're definitely kind of punchier and a little bit thicker. And then the one that is from Sigma, which I can get more color payoff out of if I put down a little bit of glitter glue, so I think I'm going to do that. I just have the Too Faced glitter glue. It's not necessary to use glitter glue with it. I just think that that's going to give me a better look out there in that corner. But the other shadows, like, I would just like to point out these shadows from BH Cosmetics, and that's with no primer, which is just, it's freaking amazing. This, I just want to be able to see that shift, which means that it needs to be built up a little bit more. But these Sigma loose shimmers and glitters I have used for more diffused looks, and then I've also used them for things like this where I've really built them up, and they just work beautifully. So I don't know how well this is even going to pick up on camera, but this is definitely, like, depending on the light, it goes from like a really bright pink to like a neon orange. And then I'm going to go into that yellow, and I am going to try to place, just because I know from using it previously that this yellow can be a little finicky. So I'm going to try to use, this is just a pinpoint concealer. I'm going to put a little bit of glitter glue and just put it right along my lash line down here, just to help pick that up. And give me as much color payoff as possible. And then I'm going to try to use that same brush and just go in and just lay it down right on top of that glitter glue. This color, because it is so bright, it's really hard to have it pick up on camera. And then also, because I am so pale, it doesn't show up on me as well as it does on people who are a little more tan or have deep skin tones. I remember when I was looking at this palette when it first came out, I was watching a video review of it with one of my friends, and she was like, I like it except for that yellow. And I am so obsessed with yellow. Like, the yellow was the first thing that made me really want this palette. So just another example of how makeup doesn't have rules, and different people have different tastes, and that is absolutely fine. So this brush is the Royal & Lang Nickel. It's just a mini flat smudger, just to kind of build that up. I am a huge fan of pink and yellow together, so these being the shades that I have that are the most neon is pretty exciting. And then for eyeliner, I might actually go ahead and use the yellow Inglot, which is number 84, in the waterline. And then if I decide, while I'm putting this in my waterline, I'll decide whether or not I want to do anything on the top. So the camera stopped recording and I didn't notice. I'm good at that, at not noticing. So I did do my waterline in yellow. I did not do the upper waterline just because I felt like for this look it was better left blank. And then I did my first winged eyeliner, and while I was doing it I was explaining the easiest way to do eyeliner and the camera wasn't going, so I'm going to do it again on the other side and explain again. So one of the things that is important, so you want to find an eyeliner. Formula matters, first of all. So you want to find one that is a good formula, that isn't too thick, isn't too thin, but also you want one that has a little bit of give. Let's see if I can. So this has a little bit of give, but overall it's fairly stiff, which makes it easier to work with. There we go. If you're using one that has like a brush tip, they're harder to use and you're going to have more difficulty. So when you go in, You want to start out just laying this down up as close to your lash line as you can get it. And when I first started out, I used to try to just do one line. That still doesn't work for me, and it certainly didn't work for me back then. And I thought that I was really never going to be able to get the hang of liquid eyeliner. And it turned out I was just trying to do it the most difficult way possible. So once you have your line, to do the wing, you just want to go from your waterline, and then I just draw a little tiny line. So I always start out with a small wing because you can build it up, but it's much harder to take it down. And then I just draw, kind of close my eye and draw a straight line in towards the middle. And then when you open your eye, it gives you that kind of swoopy bit. You can absolutely practice with different shapes and experiment and figure out if there's something else that you like better. This is just an easy way, if you are a beginner, to get a nice little wing. So this, I'm using the Smashbox and Vlada, the Petal Metal Liquid Eyeliner in Black Rose. Because I wasn't sure if I was going to use eyeliner on the top, and I decided that I thought it would look good. And then I am going to use the Tarte Tartist mascara. There it is. Okay. For my eyelash curler, I'm going to be using this guy, which is the one that is used to connect false lashes, but I also, especially when I am trying to do this so that I'm pulling it out in a way from my eyelid, when I have something like this where I haven't used primer and I'm trying to get as much color payoff as possible, I try to use this one because I don't feel the need to put it all the way up against my eye. I've thought about trying a heated eyelash curler because the concept appeals to me, but the idea of something heated up against my eyelashes scares me. So, a little on the fence. I guess up to this point I haven't been on the fence, because up to this point I just decided not to try it. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the little bit of fallout I have from the pink real quick, and I will be right back. Okay, so now mascara. I've decided that I don't think I like the Urban Decay Perversion mascara. I used to really, really love it, and I don't know if it was just that I hadn't tried enough other mascaras, or if maybe my preference in mascaras has changed, but I just find that it clumps my lashes together a lot, and that really bothers me. So I just thought I would add that in, since I might not be using it. I might see if I can try it with a different wand. Maybe it's the wand and not the formula that I have an issue with. Certainly there are other mascaras that I have a less than positive relationship with the wand, but I really like the mascara. I'll let that dry a little bit before I put it on the bottom lashes. While I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to go ahead and do my blush and my highlighter. For blush, I'm using the Laura Geller, the Baked Blush and Brighten in Tropic Hues. I've been using this a lot since I got it in my BoxyCharm. Did I not grab? Apparently I didn't grab a blush brush, so we are going to use this Real Technique sculpting brush and see how that goes. Not too bad. It's definitely a very dense brush, so not what I would normally use for blush. But with this look, a little extra blush is okay. It is causing it to lift up some of my base product, which is not great. For highlighter, I am going to use the ABH Aurora palette. And so I was going to go in with Orion, which is this blue, but I think I'm actually going to use Luna, which is like the icy white, because it has just a little bit of a pink shift. If you are looking for this palette, I got this at TJ Maxx, and they still have them the last time I checked. Like almost every TJ Maxx that I've been to has had them for the last couple of months. And if they go out of stock for a few days, they seem to come back pretty quickly. So, and it smells kind of like candy. So that's cool. It's a bright look, so I want to be nice and glowy. We all know that I love the glowy anyway. Put a little bit up here underneath my brow bone. Oh, I should have used the orange up there. Too late. Let's see. Yeah, that is so bright. So definitely not what you're going for if you're looking for a subtle highlight. But I mean, even the package kind of tells you that it's not what you want to reach for if you're reaching for something subtle. So I'm going to go ahead and do my bottom lashes before I forget and end up not having anything on my bottom lashes. I am a big fan of the wand on this mascara. I really like the really short spiky bristles. They're short and plastic and stiff. They just work really well for my eyelashes and the look that I like. They separate decently. They lengthen fairly well. The formula of that is great anyway. Alright, and for lips. So this is a color I've been trying to find a look to wear it with because I have been obsessed. So this is the Dose of Colors. This color is called Coral Crush. And it is just, it's gorgeous. So it's got a nice like kind of pinky orange neon thing going on, so I definitely think it's going to go well with this. So if you've never used Dose of Colors liquid lipsticks before, they are the lightest, most pigmented formula, and I only buy them when they're on sale. I only buy most things when they're on sale. I'm a little disappointed that I didn't buy more of these during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty when they were 50% off. So it's a little more toned down as it dries, but you can see with that lip color what looked like very neon eyes a couple minutes ago don't even look that neon anymore, but just like it's so I am going to see if I can get a little more blush on my face. I'm just going to go in. This is normally my bronzer brush, but that's better. I feel like that other brush mostly just like pulled the base off. I didn't feel like it really laid down much color. And this is definitely a look that needs color other places in my face. So in the monitor, this looks like it's glowing. It's pretty awesome. So this is the final look. I'm gonna go ahead and take this out. My hair's almost dry, so. There it is. Be sure to let me know what you think. Let me know if you're doing the challenge along with me. If you are, make sure that you tag me on Instagram. If you've watched my other videos, let me know if this is better with the background like this or if it helps with the colors. In the monitor, when I went and watched back to see where it had turned off before, the white balance looked pretty good. So my biggest concern at this point is just the possibility of overexposure because of my super pale skin. But I'm gonna go ahead and take some pictures and get them posted on Instagram and get this video edited and up. And it's early enough that I might end up doing another video tonight. Crazy, I know.